Listening Library presents My Mother, the Mermaid Chaser by Jamie Jo Hoang. Narrated by David Lee Huynh. Note to listeners: this program includes a downloadable PDF that contains lists of characters, honorifics, and resources from the book. Content note: certain passages in this book contain depictions of abuse, violence, assault, and death. Readers and listeners may notice honorifics like "o" instead of "go." Vietnam has many different dialects, from north to south. The way we speak and spell can deviate. My family is from Da Nang and Nhung Tao, respectively, so I stayed true to our regional dialect and spellings. With regard to the names of places in Vietnam, I did not use the Vietnamese spellings, except in dialogue, because I grew up with the English spellings. I kept what was familiar. For a list of resources for victims of abuse and trauma, see the PDF that comes with this audiobook. This book is still not a history lesson, but it's more true than Jane's story. Let's call it history adjacent. Chapter 1. Paul. I've never loved my parents. My mother left when I was 4, no chance for love. And my dad, well, he's not real lovable. To be clear, I don't hate him. But love? No. We're just not that kind of family. No one in my family says, "I love you." Correction. No one in my family used to say, "I love you." Last week, my sister Jane and I were watching Just Friends, a rom-com about a successful guy who returns home to a small town and finds that all his awkward tendencies have returned with him. Because we own the DVD, we've seen this movie at least 6 times, yet my sister laughed just as hard this time as she did when we first saw it. Anyway, the film ended and Jane turned to me, eyes watering with laughter, and said, "I love you, Paul. Thanks for watching this with me." At first, I thought I'd heard her wrong, but then this silence hung in the air, confirming that those were indeed the words she'd used. For my part, I avoided eye contact while staring at the rolling credits, as though I really cared about who Jock number 1 and Jock number 2 were. Jane got up, grabbed my popcorn bowl, and went to the kitchen. She appeared to be acting totally normal. She seemed not to be sick in any way. She simply went about cleaning up without acknowledging this major bomb she'd just dropped in my lap. Then yesterday, before dinner, Jane walked into the house exclaiming, "Oh my God, I love you so much. Thanks for making bung riêu with ma Bic. You know it's my favorite." Yes, I do know it's her favorite. I also know that our aunt, ma Bic, makes this meal every time Jane comes home for dinner, so it's not that special. Once is a fluke. Twice is deliberate. Not that that kept me from ignoring it a second time. Now, though, Jane is making it impossible. We're at Walmart, preparing for our trip to Vietnam. Jane came with a list. I conquered said list while she spent 30 minutes getting her eyes examined for new prescription lenses. She's checking my work when out of her mouth comes, "Damn, Paul. I love you for being so efficient. Let's hit up the toy aisle, though. I forgot to add some stuffed animals." Why do you keep saying that? The words shoot at her far more aggressively than I intend, but I can't help it. Are you dying? What? No. Why would you think that? You know why. Because I'm saying I love you? Does it make you uncomfortable? I raise an eyebrow and wait. She knows it does. My therapist says we need to lean into the things that make us uncomfortable. It's only weird because Dad never says it. Neither did you until now, I think, but I keep that to myself. Obvious things don't need to be said, especially when she's now just dropped another casual bomb. Your therapist? Yeah, I've been talking to someone, processing the trauma and stuff. I don't know what to say. We don't do therapy. We suffer, laugh about suffering, and suffer some more. Jane fills the silence without skipping a beat. I can't believe these things are only $5. Bears or dinosaurs? Should we get all the same so no one is fighting over them? Jane looks at me. I remember I still haven't spoken. Yeah, probably get the bears. They're softer, I say. My sister and I are opposites. She's big picture, and I'm all about the small things. Like, my favorite sound is the fizzing noise water makes when it streams from a faucet. Jane, on the other hand, looks at water and wants to know how it fell from the sky, rolled down a mountain, got pushed through pipes, and ended up here. When my dad was losing his mind and beating my sister, I used to sit in the bathroom with the faucet on and concentrate on the stream of water flowing down the sink. It became the white noise I needed to muffle what was happening in the house. Because of this, it's the only time I ever feel truly calm. At some point, I realized that silence eased the tension way faster than shouting or crying. When I was young, being quiet was my only power. I clung to it so hard that now I have to remind myself to speak aloud the thoughts inside my head. When my dad was angry, any words that spilled from my mouth were wrong. I'm sorry made him hit me harder. Stop made him hit me longer. Okay was met with a question. Okay what? That I never had an answer to, so the punishment would continue. Then I learned to stop answering. In science class, I discovered that fires require oxygen, so instead of speaking, I held my breath. And it worked. My silence cut the beating time in half. I look at Jane, and it dawns on me that she's been unusually quiet. Typically, she asks me all kinds of questions about school, my day, our dad, food, my friends, and whatever she can think of. While in law school, she would question me the way a prosecutor might cross-examine a criminal. What started as practice is now a habit, except today she hasn't asked anything. No, what did you eat? Why didn't you eat an apple? I better not find them rotting in the fridge later. What's up with you? I ask. Huh? She startles, looking at me like she's just remembering that I came along. What? Why are you all sulky and quiet? Oh, I was just thinking about all the stuff I need to get. I don't want to forget anything essential. Lies. You can tell me now, or I can ask you the same question over a period of 22 hours while you're confined to an airplane seat beside me. Let me guess. You got dumped? Jane avoids eye contact, pretending to be interested in the bleach-free laundry detergent in her hands. After a moment, she says, Who has time for a boyfriend? All I do is work and worry about you. Ah, so you dumped him, I try. Jane has had precisely one boyfriend that I know of, and he ended up being a dud. She ignores me. I bet Baklan would love this stuff. She puts powdered detergent in the basket, grabs some stain remover pens, and tosses those in the cart too. We continue on through the bedding and bathroom departments, and she adds a shower curtain. The candy aisle is where she loses all self-control. Any chocolate bag with a sales sticker on it ends up in our cart. We hit the jackpot. Peanut M&Ms are on clearance. While she empties the bin, I walk around the corner. I wander down an aisle bursting with furry colors. There's something about seeing so much fluff that makes me want to pile them all in a large heap and jump on top. I resist the impulse. Near the end of the aisle, a brown bear in a green Scout's vest stops me. His left paw holds a shovel while the other hangs at his side. Smokey Bear is a California icon. I pull him down and feel the soft fur. This forest ranger bear is on billboards throughout the national parks and highways. Next to the bear, I remember the phrase, "Only you can prevent forest fires." A memory pops into my head. Our family was together in the car. Dad and Mom were in the front, Jane and me in the rear. I kept sliding because the towel we had laid down to cover the giant tear in the seat was slick against the cracked and tattered leather. I had no idea where we were, but outside my window, lots and lots of giant red trees swooshed by. I remember the forest looking like it was on fire without any flames, and the trees were so tall that I couldn't see where their tops met the sky. In the front, my parents argued. My dad yelled, and my mother disagreed. Tears fell down her cheeks, but her voice rarely cracked. Beside me, teen Jane cradled me in her arms. In a calm tone, she told me a story about 3 little bears living in this forest. Her voice was
Sample complete. Ready to continue?